Good evening, everyone. Today is Friday, July 21st, and it is 8:21 p.m. We are doing our Friday night update, and we're going to be brief. Um, so there's really not too much to update you on. We've not had no further council persons signing on to our legislation this week, which means the communications with the council will just keep on continuing all weekend long. We'll probably change up the email that we're sending them because they're probably putting it into trash or spam at this point. So we're going to change up the wording a little bit. And then if there's any changes, we'll be doing them next week. For those of you on the page, next week, we are taking that trip to DC. So for Tuesday, we will be out of pocket, but you will be seeing, I've got to set it up over the weekend, set up some YouTube links for you to watch us as we'll be live streaming with Be a Hero in DC. When we're doing our press conference, and as much as we can throughout the day. I do believe that link is reusable. So if we're not streaming, I could probably stream back in. If not, just come back to the Facebook page and we will post a fresh link to click for the next part of it. So that's really what we're doing there. And then we're also kind of planning some ideas, and we'll get a chance to talk next week about what our next phases should be, about putting some further pressure on the council to actually get on the legislation, and that we're going to start, I think, taking this to districts. And I think that's really where it needs to go as well. Also, keeping communications with the community boards and trying to urge the community boards to get involved and then pass on that pressure onto the council to have them sign on, as well as get a letter from those community boards saying that they do a resolution that they support what we're doing, as we did have one from the Chelsea Reformed Democratic Club. So if we're able to get that, that would be kind of fantastic. Michelle, the bill is in the Civil Service and Labor Committee, but it is not going to move if we can't get more sponsors on that legislation. So that's why it's really important to get more people on it to get it to move.
But that's okay, because you know what, karma. I always believe in karma, and you know what, it'll move. I think it'll move, and if not, we'll just keep pushing along.
No, Borelli is not on board yet.
Mm.
That man's just full of excuses, one excuse after another. But that's the scoop on the bill. Just keep on calling. It was funny because I was on the phone this week with Councilman Kevin Riley's office, and I told him that I would like to get him from one side to the other side of my board. And he says, "What do you mean?" And I showed him my board of heads, and he said, "You have Kevin up there twice." And I said, "What?" And sure enough, I did. I had Kevin Riley up there twice. And I said, that means I'm missing a council member. I had to go back to my sheet and look and see who I was missing. And I was missing Karina Sanchez. So she kind of got away from us for a little while, but not anymore.
You know what I told you, right? I told you, I am not explaining why you have all those heads on that poster board. If God forbid something happens to you, right?
It's like you used a guillotine, Marianne.
Well, they're like nice size heads too. I mean,
yeah,
they'll think I'm some, crazy.
Right. I'm not explaining that. All right. I'm not.
No, we're not going there.
But it's really a good idea, to be able to recognize the faces.
I get it. We get it. You get it. But I'm not explaining it. There you go. Don Ho, Headhunters.
Well, they actually thought if strangers walked in my house, they'd think I was a serial killer, but okay.
Yep, and that's what I said.
Not a good week to be talking about that.
I know, that's really kind of crazy.
Yes, yes, it is.
This tells you how many sick people are in this world.
Yep,
We know that.
sadly.
Ellen, I'm
Ay,
not, your comment, how about using the campaign finance board database info on contributions from PACs and labor unions to individual members? I put a link up on our site. Another retiree retired from the UFT is already sending emails to council members who accepted those UFT contributions in 23 to date to let them know that we are aware of who accepted contributions, but are hopeful that they will still do the right thing and allow our bill to move forward. Could this be a homework for next week? I mean, honestly, Ellen, this is what I said to another retiree today. Some of you's come up with some good ideas. I just can't do anymore, and neither can Michelle and Carol. So if you have an idea, I suggest you implement it, provide us a list, and then we can post it. But I appreciate the idea of you giving us ideas, but if you're not going to help us do them, I can't take on more on my plate. We just can't do it. So
you guys gotta
give us a
run with
list.
it. Just run with it.
Give us a list, and then we'll post the list of give me a list of every council member who accepted a UFT or union contribution, and then we'll put that up in those. But honestly, at this point, we should just
Yeah.
basically be targeting every one of the council members that are on that page.
Right.
On the wrong side of the picture board.
Yeah. Knocking heads with Dinowitz on Thursday. Okay. Yeah, Mercedes Narcisse pretty much dodged me and Michelle yesterday.
Oh.
She moved so fast, I swear she ran like Flash.
The flash is an understatement. I
You were
looked,
like, where'd she go?
she was gone, and I am like the eagle eye. Okay, I really follow everybody, and I looked, and she was gone in the wind. I don't know where she ducked into, where she went, and I just was like, "Ooh, she's gone." That really like flipped me out. I was like, "Wow." I was like, "Okay."
Yep. And then I had to chase Gail Brewer into the elevator.
Well, that was funny because I was like, "Oh, look, this gal." She was like trying to get that elevator to come so quick. And yeah, and then Marianne jumped in and those doors closed. And I was like, "Oh," and then I had to go
See you
run downstairs.
downstairs.
Right. And I couldn't get downstairs. And I had to go find her.
You're a scary woman.
Oh, I know that.
Thank you, Ellen. I appreciate that. That would help because I have a full schedule on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Miriam says, do you need help knocking heads with Dinowitz? I'm assuming someone else was knocking heads with Dinowitz.
Yeah, someone
Oh, I
said
guess so.
something.
So whoever's dealing with Dinowitz on here, connect yourselves. We can start doing Dinowitz emails again. What we probably need to do is go back to the email. I'll tell you what, this weekend, I'll put up a link. I will put up a link on the page for whoever did not sign up for our council member emails. You need to sign up to the link I'm going to put up. Many of you did. Many of you didn't. I'll say some of you did, many of you didn't. I think I only have a couple hundred names. The link will allow you to see who's your council person and then sign up for the emails for us. And then what we'll do is we will go in and start copying all of you. You will then get an email from us that will go to the council member, and all of you that are on that list will be CC'd. So don't email me and tell me, oh, you exposed my email. My email's on the CC. It's a pressure campaign. That means the council member needs to see all of his constituents in this or her constituents in the CC box. So they know that all of you are looking and watching when we did this when we first started doing this. Justin Brannan's office, Jonathan Yedden did not realize that like he had 50 people on this email and then sent a really snarky comment back. It was a nasty comment. And then Justin got the CC on it as well and realized that Jonathan sent it back to me, but it also went to like 50 people. And then he very quickly walked the comment back and then called me. So it's important when you do a campaign like that, the council person absolutely needs to see that you are watching. Cody Childs, my council member, is in. He is Krishnan. Yes, and I actually sent Shekhar Krishnan a email asking him for some further assistance. So I'm hoping that they do call back. I did not have time to call them today. So that'd be interesting. Anyone in the in Brooklyn, where was that?
I spoke to Dinowitz's staff member and she texted me back. Her name is Jenna. She said he promised the same because he was a teacher. She may be the one to contact. Okay.
I have no idea what he's meaning on that one, but I don't know. I've lost it. It's gone. I have way too many emails. I can't even find emails anymore. I feel helpless. I live in Florida and the council people that I see that I'm in Florida, they totally ignore me. Inez, it doesn't matter. Do it anyway. And if you don't want to put your Florida address in there, then just put your address where you used to work or where you used to live.
Right. Elizabeth Kryzak, Gennaro is a lost cause.
You know, we haven't heard back from them yet.
I know, it's been a while. I know, it's been a while.
Actually, we remember that we had that meeting with his staff, with him and was it Henry? And
Carol de Blasio to Ricci. I sent Borelli a nice reply on Instagram to his posting about the TRO. Crickets, crickets, crickets. I think we will get his attention when we visit his office. Lenny Rubenstein, R. Oop, hold on. Marianne sent you a message on Borelli event on Staten Island and suggesting with Staten Island paper, Staten Island in advance. Have a wonderful weekend. Guys, love you.
hopefully I could find your email.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So can I talk about the couple of Zelle weird things that we got this week?
Go ahead
Yeah.
while I'm looking
Yeah.
this up.
Okay, we had a couple of things where people seem to get a little confused with sending via Zelle. And they've actually come up where they're asking us to send them money. So you need to hit the button that says you are sending money. You are the sender, we are the recipient. Okay, and some cases I can find you and I reach out to you by sending you an email sometimes I have no way to track you if it's your first one and you're not showing up anywhere on our system as an email. So if you have questions regarding a contribution, you can send an email to me at Carol, CAROL, at nycretirees.org. Carol at nycretirees.org. Instead of overall to the .org, this way it comes to me and it saves Michelle and Mary Ann a little work if it's something to do with a donation.
So Denise, you might just need to go to Carmen's office and ask. And ask for a meeting in person. That way they can't blow you off. Marie, I don't know why you're giving me a name and an email address, what that's for. So I just found that email. It went, we sent that out July 16th. So it was a week ago to Henry. Actually, it was July 29th. I sent him the information that they asked for from that meeting. I followed up again on the 16th. This time I'm writing this one. It's going to Councilman Gennaro as well as Henry. And I'm saying we've not heard back from you after sending quite a lot of documentation, and we have plenty more to share if you need. But what we sent should have debunked the myth that 1099 is illegal. Please call us. He's not going to be taking calls. Assemblyman Novikov, Brooklyn, Sheepshead Bay, is supporting the New York State retiree health proposal. Yes, he actually is. Assemblyman Novikov actually signed on to our state legislation. So if you're also calling your state people, your state senators or assembly persons, please ask them to sign on to our state legislation.
Now, also people who don't live in the New York area, you can also try to get coverage for us wherever you live, because you know, it's growing bigger, the whole problem. Certain states have more transplants than others, Florida, of course, being a big one. And Kings Point and Tamarack has a newsletter. The Century Villages all around South Florida have newsletters. A lot of the communities have their own newsletter, and they've got a lot of our people living there.
Mm-hmm.
Some of whom may or may not be aware of what's going on. And get them interested, and Mary Ann will gladly give them a couple of quotes to use.
So I think the next thing we probably need to do is have a little bit of fun. I'm going to send out that Gennaro email right now with the emails that I have. So if I'm forgetting someone, let me know if you don't get this. But right now I'm copying all of you on it. And it just basically says that we've not heard back from them after sending quite a lot of documentation that we have, and we have plenty more to share if you need, but what we sent, you should have debunked the myth that it is not illegal, because I think that was his biggest issue. We even sent him one of our YouTubes. That actually what I'll do is before I send this one, I will connect the other 2 links to it from our YouTube channel that show because by the time I did this, I had only filmed one one video that showed the MLC attorney saying that it wasn't illegal. I'll also connect the other 2 videos to it as well. That way we hopefully hammer that point home. But I think next week we might want to do a Facebook Live during the day if we have time.
I think we can make time. There's
And
always time to make time.
make a Facebook Live during the
Yeah.
day and call a council person's office and
That's interesting.
see who answers and how they answer. Please repost the 2-sentence 1099 proposals so we can get the wording correct. Well, Patricia, it's super simple. It just says that the city has to provide a Medigap plan and nothing in the bill prevents the unions from bargaining. It's that simple. And if you go up to the city council website, you will notice there's a place there for legislation, or just Google search NYC, New York City Council, Legistar. You can find the Legistar website and just put in 1099. It'll bring you up the legislation. You can even go to the New York City Council website and pull up 1099, and the full legislation is there.
Absolutely.
Laurel Swan is support WGA SAG-AFTRA. A friend is SAG and sent photos of UFT marching in support. No matter what you say to Borelli's office, they just stick to the same shtick. Incredible. Honestly, feel they are repeating their lies will work. It's okay. I mean, I don't think we should stop making those phone calls. Obviously, calling them out on it is what you need to do. And then I think we probably need a trip to Staten Island.
Hey, why not?
Yeah.
Probably need a trip to Staten Island. Monday's kind of Monday, Tuesday went. We got such a busy week next week. Barbara Monroe Mogoloff. I've called Brewer several times and spoke with her assistant. He says she supports us. Is she a lost cause? I would say call them back, and if she does support us, when is she signing on the bill? Because she's told me several times she's signing on the bill. Maybe Gail's one of those people that we actually call and ask.
Right.
I mean, that's an option. The Verrazano Bridge holds Staten Island in place. Very funny, Don. Thank you, Judy. I'm trying to take care of myself. I haven't been to Staten Island for a while, would like to go. So what the theory was is that we would tell everybody to meet. Didn't you and I go over by the ferry one day to take the train or something, Carol?
Yeah,
No, we took the bus.
We took the bus by where the ferry is, right?
But yeah, but we had talked about what if we took the ferry over from Manhattan and then rented a yellow bus to drive us out to Borelli's.
We have to figure out how far his office is.
I don't think he's that close to the ferry. That's why I think we need.
Doesn't matter, because we have boots on the ground that are willing to pick us up and take us out there. We live on Staten
Depends
Island.
how many of us. But
Well, the
that's
school
fine.
bus holds what, like 50 people?
No, it depends on the size. There are
Size of
different
your
size
butt?
buses. No, on the size of the bus, Mary Ann.
Oh,
Goodness.
just checking.
But yeah, you know, let's go out and visit them.
Yes, we are going to DC on the 25th.
You can take the train.
Oh, the SIRT.
I don't know. Deborah says you can take the train to his office from the ferry. Borelli's
Oh.
office is on the other side of Staten Island near the Outer Bridge crossing. Lorraine says my car holds 7. I have an SUV and a roof for lawn chairs.
That's, there you go. That's family. There you go. That is.
You go on the roof, Michelle.
Hank's
Oh,
office is
hey,
right
that's
by
all right.
the
I'm good with
ferry.
that.
You have a large group of Staten Islanders who will rally with you. Yeah, so we probably need to do that. You know that, right?
All right, listen, I'm good with that.
I remember we got a call one day while I was sitting in the ambulance in Queens over by Juniper Valley Park, and it ended up bringing us to Staten Island, and the dispatchers made us go to A&W to bring them back root beer and roast beef. So I wonder if root A&W is still there.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I used to live near the mall for a year.
I don't know. We probably need to coordinate a day. I think it's got to be a day trip. We meet in the morning in Manhattan, take the ferry over, and
A&W gone.
huh?
A&W is gone.
A&W is gone. Oh, thanks, Deborah.
So we meet in the morning in Manhattan, take
Mhm.
the ferry over. Hey, we can go to the St. George Theater the same night, see who's playing.
I do not want to be there that long. I would like to do who we have. How many people are on Staten Island? Is it 3 or 4? Where is my list? Okay.
4.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay.
Actually, it's got to be, well, Ina is Brooklyn, not Staten Island.
But
I show 3, Camila Hanks, David Carr, and Joe Borelli.
there you go. We could visit all them.
I say 3, let's do
And we'll
3.
talk. And we can get our boots on the ground. I think Lenny will drive us around.
So let's do this. Let's see if we can rent a bus for the day, a school bus for the day, fill up the school bus, and we probably need an RSVP so we know who's coming and we don't overbook. We don't get too many people, then we have the ability to transport, or we just have the bus pick us up. So for you Staten Islanders, from the furthest office from the ferry is how far away? Is that like 20 minutes, a half an hour? How far is that? Hanks is right next to the St. George Theater.
There's some good restaurants around there.
Depends on traffic, but what? Let's say no traffic and let's say big traffic. Well, how long are we talking going from the ferry to the furthest office? Half an hour-ish, 20 minutes. Okay. Well, because by the time the bus gets back, the bus leaves like Borelli's office to go make another trip back. It could be an hour before they get there. It takes 30 minutes without traffic. that's far. So I would say, we would need a list, we would need an RSVP list of like however many the bus holds. And then do it that way. That way we don't have more people than we can carry. Rent a bus from the ferry. And then take us to the 3 offices, stop by stop, all stop and get lunch somewhere and then go back to the ferry and go home.
Yeah, well,
Um,
you know, you gotta watch out for those crazy turkeys that, you know, the Tottenville turkeys that, you know, run around in the streets there, you know.
They have wild turkeys.
Not
in
kidding.
town.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I'm not kidding.
Too early for Thanksgiving.
Don't matter. They run around there, you know.
Are you
We'll
talking
go-
about like incompetent council persons, or are we talking like real gobble gobble?
No, turkey.
No, real gobble gobble turkeys. They run
Really?
around there and they stand in the street and cause havoc. No, I'm not kidding.
So I think we also need to work
Right?
in
See,
stop-
these are, they're everywhere. See, I'm not kidding.
How do
They're
turkeys
Michelle.
get
even
in-
in the hospital. They even got it caught in the hospital doors, in the hospital.
How
they
do
got-
turkeys get onto the
yeah,
island?
They're
need,
just there. They're
They've
just there.
been there for a
They-
long
Is that like
Yeah.
wild geese? It's like they need like
Well,
turkey
they're
birth
just
control or
like-
You
something.
got the restored village
Yeah.
there, you know. But Michelle, listen, Miss Karma, we need to make a stop at the Tibetan monastery on Staten Island.
You want me to just burst into flames? I mean,
Get some good karma.
I know I'm always about good karma, and everything is about good karma.
And there really is or there was a monastery there, Tibetan
I'm
monastery.
not kidding about these wild turkeys, because I remember when I was rolling out the EPCR program and turkey got caught in the doors at the ER at the hospital, at Staten Island University Hospital. He was stuck.
And you're not talking about Joe Borelli, like you're really
No, I'm not
talking
talking about Joe Burley. I'm talking about a real gobble gobble turkey was caught between the doors at the ER entrance. I
Poor
thought that was the
turkey.
funniest thing I ever saw. It was like looking around, like, how do I get out? I was like,
Oh my
oh, look, a
God.
patient.
That's hysterical.
It is hysterical. There you go. I could have been Borelli, but who knows? I can't identify people, you know.
Dressed
It's
up
too
as a
early in the morning.
turkey?
When I don't have enough coffee, you know me, when I don't have enough coffee.
I know. I'd actually had 3 double doubles this morning by the time I had that 11 o'clock phone call, and the guy had never spoken to me before. And he's like, you're talking very fast. Could you slow down? I was like, I'm talking fast. I was like, my brain was probably moving. I thought my mouth was moving faster than my brain, I guess. I don't know. That's where they hang out, by the hospital. That's crazy. I've never heard of this. I don't know. I live in Massapequa and we have rabbits everywhere. They're eating my marigolds. Wild rabbits and wild turkeys. Okay.
Think it beats some of those pythons, the one they got in Florida that had huge number of eggs. Snakes.
I don't know. Anyway, that's basically it.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
What-
Carol
what
said,
else? Oh,
I
well,
think
God.
Borelli knows a few
well,
of them.
she has her spiel. She has her spiel.
I have my spiel. And that is that we're gonna be looking at very
out,
large
Carol.
legal bills coming up, because this is not a cheap fight. So we need the money coming in. Zelle, PayPal, Venmo, and checks. And if you send checks, please make the payee, the pay to the order of is the organization, not the accountant.
Not the accountant. Everyone wants to pay our accountant.
Let's feel
Yeah.
love.
He
He's
sends
a
me another
nice-
envelope. It's
nice
like,
person.
he'll send me an envelope. I don't know where I put it, but it's like, I got another one.
And sign your checks, please.
Oh yeah,
Please.
it'll come up like wrong. Hold on, let me block the person's name. It'll say wrong payee. And then I look inside and the check is made out to the accountant, but thank you for thinking of us, but I have to send it back to you.
which creates work.
Yeah, I know.
You gonna bring me another bundle next week?
If I could get through the bundles, I got boxes and boxes of
Well,
letters
I
in my
told you,
bathroom.
send them to me.
Just
I
gonna bring
told
in
you,
the
send them to
box.
me. Just send them to me.
I got 3 to go through now.
All right, well,
It's crazy. But so- get some of those wild guinea pigs and they will get rid of all the wild animals running throughout New York City, the human ones also. You're very funny, Anne.
Oh, the ones from the city council.
there you go, the city council,
Yeah.
and then maybe the wild turkeys will take care of them.
Yeah.
Early.
So that's the story.
Right, yeah, we didn't have much news to really report. Everything is status quo, and I
Yeah.
apologize. I haven't been on really in the emails. I had some classes this week that I was taking from 8 to 5, and then we had, as soon as I got out of class, I was dealing with, business between Marianne and I, trying to catch up. So I'll be back to my regularly assumed program, so I'll be back.
Are
to
you too
hearing-
behind on emails or you're just a
I'm
little?
done, I'm done. I am burnt. I am like red. and
No, I
flushed.
mean like on the emails. You're far behind on emails or no?
No, I'm not far behind.
Oh.
I was answering them. I was, getting, as soon as I got out of class, I was answering some and, taking care of them. But like I said, I was just, not as as fluid as I was. I just, there was a lag. Usually I do them in the morning and,
So if anyone has any further questions, drop them quickly because I think we're gonna wrap this up so we can go rest.
yeah, I need to go to sleep. I am so tired. My face is on fire. So,
Sorry if I missed it, but can you tell me how we need to approach assembly members? Way back, my assemblywoman said she supported us, but it was not in her realm. Now that we're moving to the state level, what do I ask or say? So Kathy Palestino, please tell me who your your assemblywoman is. We have asked a few times if your assembly or senator or congressperson is supporting what we're doing and has sent you a letter, we would like a copy of the letter. If you go to our website, you will see that we started putting up those letters on their letterhead onto our website. Joe put up their photos and you can click their photos and see the letter that they wrote. So we want you to do that. And you could ask them ask them if they would support our current situation, that we're being forced off Medicare into privatized Medicare Advantage, and that the design of that plan, the cost of that plan would be shifted to us, and the design would be shifted to the unions and the mayor, that they can change how that plan is, and that we want to be able to stay on traditional Medicare. So we are working on seeing if they would write letters of support, as well as contact. You want to ask them to contact the city council or other state representatives. If it's a federal representative, ask them to contact the city council or the state person to support our legislation. So if they're a state rep, ask them if they would write a letter to sign the city council letter. If they're a federal person, you want to ask them to contact the council, the state assembly person or senator, to support our state legislation, which is currently in the assembly. And if you have a senator interested in taking our legislation, we would like to get them to sponsor it on the Senate side, because right now we yet do not have a Senate sponsor.
Fran Lowitz, thank you for your donations. Yes, we have gotten them via Zelle. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Senator Gennardez is BFF with Justin Brown and has ignored my emails for almost 2 years. Then Janet, it's time actually you go to the office. But, you know, you got to question how long Justin will be there if he's not supporting what we're doing either, because we're preparing to come out ahead of the November elections. The retirees are going to be a force. We are actually talking about with our tax attorney and forming a retiree power pack. That way we can inject ourselves into the next election, that if they're not supporting us, but their opponent is, we support their opponent. And we probably need to start doing that super quickly. Because we're still funding litigation, and then we're going to need to like a small grassroots funding. And actually, if that might be another ask too, you know, you have your former unions using your COPE money for working against you and making those donations to council members or state legislators or lobbying against you, enforcing you on Medicare Advantage. I say then we redivert those COPE payments or PAC payments to our former unions to retiree power pack, and then we become politically involved. So Carol, that might be something you and me and the tax lawyers need to pick back up. I know we talked about it with them, but I think we need to seriously start that like after next week, because that'll give us like September, October to raise a couple bucks and then start doing injecting ourselves into campaigns against council persons that have not supported us, and then supporting council candidates that are you with retirees or not. And actually, Michelle, we start using those websites we bought.
Right.
So
I did see somebody, Laura Genovese asked, she signed up for the Washington trip. She's not sure if she is registered.
what's the name? Can you message that to me?
Yeah, it was Laura Genovese.
Did she show up on yours?
I didn't see her.
Laura, I will check the master list because I asked for a copy of it tonight, and I know I did get it, but I'm not gonna just pause here. I will go look for it once we hang up. And then if you're on there, not on there, either way, I will let you know. But if you did someone tell you, call you, text you, because you should have gotten something that you were on there. But if not, I will message you when this is over. And actually, if Sue is listening to this, yourself, Michelle, and then the Antwerps, you guys need to message your 14, because you are our 4 captains. Your 14 people, you'll need to text or email that contact went out today that said that you need to make that connection with your peoples under your on your invitation.
Laura said Michael called her today.
Okay, so then that means that what did he tell you? That means that you're on there?
Okay, I don't know.
All right, so we'll deal with that.
Square that away.
So for everybody, offer the retirees an alternative to union membership. Perfect. Well, there is no union membership really in retiree when you're a retiree. You're basically you're just paying a loyalty payment to your former union. And if they're using your money to work against you, then that's a problem. To cancel your COPE, you actually have to write a letter to your union that you're paying the COPE to, and there is a form that you're supposed to fill out. Let me see if I could actually find the union guy that had told me about that, but I would start with a letter to the union, send it certified that you want to cancel your COPE payment. COPE payment, for those asking what is COPE, some unions charge what, I don't remember what the heck it stands for, but basically it's a political action payment.
Sue said, Laura Genovese, you're on the list. Thanks,
Okay.
Sue.
Thank you, Sue. And that's it. Sharon, I wrote a letter. I called the union and wrote a letter. Paula, thank you, Paula, for telling Sharon that. And then keep on top of it. They're not going to just do it. So you have to stay on top of it. And if they don't, let us know, because then we will help you with that. I wrote a letter to the union and COPE was canceled. Thank you, Barbara. Yeah, I think they're going to start to get the message that we're not going to support them if they're actually going to be using our money to screw us. So that said, everybody, it is 5 after 9. Thank you, Jimmy. COPE is Committee on Political Education. That's what COPE stands for, Committee on Political Education. I don't know. I think we can come up with another acronym for what they're using.
I could probably come up with yeah, if I wasn't this tired, I could probably come up with one real quick. I'll think about it. I'll come up with one
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Be mature.
Listen, I probably could come, yeah.
I know. Should I email you DC 37 and UFT political contributions list to council members, or send them? Do not send me anything by text. If you're going to send anything to me, please make sure you copy Michelle, because then she will remind me when I'm not looking at it.
Yes, yes.
Better 4 eyes than 2,
Oh,
because
for a friend.
I get over 3,000 emails a day. I don't even find my bills anymore. Yeah, you're going to give them a real education. So everyone, listen, have a great night. Have a great weekend. We will close the page. When we hang up on this, we will, I'm supposed to post something on the page and I don't remember what it was, but I'll go back and listen to this and remember.
I have no, don't ask me, I have no idea.
Remember
have
what I
no
was
clue.
supposed to post for you guys. I don't remember what it was, but I will watch and go back up and listen to it. And I will post you whatever it is I said I was going to do. We'll put up your new homework assignment next week, which will probably be the same as this week. Call your council, email your council. I will probably retool that letter a little bit that's on the Action Network that you guys like. It's easy for you to do. Just keep those calls going. I will also post the link to the video that we're going to do live streaming from. You'll probably see one from us and you'll probably see one from Be a Hero. And on the train that we're taking down to DC, we are also bringing a reporter and a film crew with us. We'll be holding a press conference down in DC with a lot of people there. Hopefully we can get all of that onto video. If not, it'll be recorded and uploaded at a later time. But stay tuned, because at least that kicks off our next event. What happened with making posters? Miriam, Michelle, put on the to-do list the posters, because that I want to go back to that. Thanks, Miriam. On the to-do list, we want to do posters to the council. To-do list is 2 things: the posters to the city council members that we can have pinpoint people that are in their districts to go and pick up at a local Staples or whatever, mounted on a poster board and bring it to them, right? And then you and I need to get posters printed for before Tuesday's trip. We need to get, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Just put on your thing to call me. You and I need to speak tomorrow. Help, how do I reach my captain? I do not have text, no cell phone now. Sandra, it's going to be really important you have a way to keep in touch with us. If you don't have a cell phone, then you're going to need to buddy up with someone at the event, because we have to know where you are at all times. If we lose track of you in DC, and we don't know where you are, then we're going to have a problem if we don't know how to get in touch with you to get on the train. Otherwise, you must like stay snapped to somebody on this trip and not wander away, because there's a lot of people for us to stay in touch with. So if you don't have a cell phone or an iPad or something, Sandra, we will find out who's your captain, and then we will have them email you. Sandra Steinberg Lindenschmidt. Okay, Michelle. Okay, so that's the story. Have a great weekend. Thank you to all the moderators, and
I love my moderators. Thank you for holding the fort since I haven't been in touch with them. I truly appreciate it. I was in touch with a few, but again, as I always say, without you guys, we wouldn't be here. So, mwah.
And thank you for Joe, and thank to the admins, and for all
Oh.
of you for everything that you're doing and following us on this crazy ride that we have.
Yes, yes, and I know I was making Mary Ann crazy because I wasn't available for
I know,
like
it's all
6,
by
7
myself this week.
I know for like 6 or 7 hours. She wasn't even able to get in touch with me.
So, Sandra, we will figure out, you need to just message us and tell us what kind of a tablet you have, if it's an iPad or a Samsung or something. We need to be able to see if we could message you, messenger you, something. There's got to be a way for us to communicate with you.
And those who are the captain, I am the captain of those of the 14 people. I will reach out to you tomorrow. I didn't get back home until late, till 6 p.m. tonight. So I will go through my list. I will text everybody tomorrow and we'll reach out to you all and make sure that, you know, we are all in contact and you all have my phone number so that we don't get lost and discombobulated, and we're all set for Tuesday when we go to Washington.
So that's it, folks. Have a great weekend, and we will see you Monday.
Yes.
Ciao, guys.
Out.